And hello, everybody. This is Mr. Mark Romero. Welcome, welcome. Come on into our lovely webinar today. If you are in the chat, just type in, say hello, let me know that you can hear me okay. Everything seems to be up and running here. And then I'll also give a little strum. If you could just type in and say hello, let me know you can hear me okay, and we'll get started here in another minute. So really excited. Welcome. I see a lot of you coming in right now. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. And once again, on the chat there, just type in, say hello. Please let me know that you can hear me okay. And we'll get started here as soon as I get some confirmation that you guys can hear me okay. So far, looks like a ton of people coming in here. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome everybody. Just double check in, and I'm broadcasting. All the numbers and dials and everything are doing what they're supposed to do. Hello, John. Hello, Lynn. Awesome. Hello, can hear you just fine. Mary Jo, thank you so much for typing in. And then just in case you missed it, just let me know you can hear the guitar okay. And that would be great. All right, got Linda. Hello, she can hear me well. Good evening from South Jersey. Kelly says she can hear me loud and clear. So fantastic. Super excited to get started today. So looks like everybody can hear me. I haven't heard a confirmation on the guitar yet. So but considering I saw the lights and everything move, I think we'll get ready to go. Marianne, guitar's coming through as well. Fantastic. Say hello wherever you are. I'd love to hear from you. Just type in, say hello. Let me know where you're from. That would be fantastic. The room is loading up very quickly here. And just getting Janice from near LA, which could be just about anywhere, right? And Gail says it sounds good. Darlene says hello. Greg says can hear great. Kathy says the guitar is great. That's awesome. I haven't even started playing yet. Jay from, looks like Petaluma. Loud and clear. Fantastic. Welcome, Jay. Welcome, everybody. So excited to get starting today. I've got Marianne from Estes Park, Colorado. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So we got lots of places in the U.S. Come on, my international friends. I got, let's see, Julianne from Gilbert. It looks like Gilbert, Arizona. Been there, done that before. Mariah from the Netherlands, welcome. So now we are officially international on this evening. So welcome once again. And I will get ready started shortly here. Just confirming. Got lots of people still coming into the room. I've got Janine from the San Francisco Bay Area. I've got Yetta from Mexico. Hola. Got Karen from Santa Barbara. So welcome. Welcome. Super excited to be sharing tonight and what we're going to be doing. So I think without any ado, we should probably get started. You all can hear me. I've had an opportunity to say hi. Got Rex in New Zealand. Fantastic. Welcome. Welcome, Rex, and welcome, everybody. I'm Mark Romero, and I'm really excited to have an opportunity to take you on the little journey that we're going through tonight. And of course, to have an opportunity to play a little bit and just share some things. So with that being said, I think we're ready to go to slides. Of course, you can never completely get the corporate out of the guy. I still have to use slides once in a while just to, reclaim my, I guess, my roots, so to speak. So hopefully you should be able to see my slides now, which would be fantastic. If you can, I got Cher from Washington. I got Marla from, looks like, Tustin. Tustin, man, that's my old stomping grounds, man. I grew up in Tustin. Small world, I tell you. So welcome once again. My name is Mark Romero. Tonight is the Energize Your Life webinar. Super excited to be sharing what we're going to be sharing tonight, and I think you're really going to find it interesting. So let's get started. So today I'm going to share with you how you can rise above the static and noise of the modern day world and revitalize yourself, revitalize your life. How many of you want to have more energy? How many of you want to just be vibrant in life and operate at a higher level? You know, if you are interested in that, type that in. Say hello. Yes, I'd like some more energy in my life. Yes, I'd like to restore harmony in my life. Yes, I'd love to play beautiful music throughout my life experience. So this is really what we're engaging on today. I'm gonna share with you how you can rise above the static and noise of the modern day world. And I'll elaborate on exactly what that is, but ultimately how it can help shift your energy. And your life, my friends, is an output of your energy. So we have a lot of new people on tonight. I know some of you have been on my webinars and are like going, oh my gosh, he's going to tell a story again. I promise to be quick and direct. Got all kinds of people saying, yes, want more energy. Are you kidding? I've got children. I've got a significant other. Or I need all the energy I can get. I know exactly how you feel. So my name is, once again, Mark Romero. Believe it or not, I'm not only a former CEO executive manager, I'm also a recovered CEO executive manager from the high-tech industry, 19 years, in the corporate / business arena, and things changed for me. One night I came home, my lovely wife, Dr. Lara, was there in the hallway, and she gave me the look, and it's a look I get to actually see quite often. It's the I'm going to hit you with some truth look. There's a couple other looks she gives me too, but I'm not going to go. That'll be on the relationship webinar when we get around to that. But she was hitting me with the I'm going to hit you with some truth look. And she just got up in my face and she said, you know what, man, I don't care how much money you're making. I look in your eyes and you're dead. When are you going to have the courage to go for the dream? Now, of course, like any good husband, I immediately wanted to find fault with what she said. But with like any really good husband, you just like kind of go, dude, what's the point? You're wrong. Just fess up now. Admit it. And she was right. You know, I think like with many of us, we have been presented with a model of what defines a successful life. And I went and pursued that. And I got all the way to the top, baby. And at the top, I realized, well, wait a second. I've got the portfolio. I've got the savings account. I've got the home in Southern California. I've got the shiny car. Why am I unhappy? Why am I discontent? Why am I unfulfilled? And why am I unhealthy? And bottom line, she was right. I was not going to be able to make it another 10 years doing what I was doing. It was going to kill me. So I walked away to pursue a dream, really to pursue a calling, to embark on the Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, to be able to find my purpose and to bring that forward into the world. And so I embarked upon that. And I released a CD in 2002. Talk about going back a ways now. Just for fun, just to have the experience of making it. And that CD ended up getting in the hands of a gentleman by the name of Dr. Ronald Jones, who was a former top consultant to NASA. And they actually discovered healing energy in my music. And we'll get into a little bit exactly what's going on with that actually like restores harmony in listeners' energy, opening up the doors to all kinds of benefits. Well, from this discovery really emerged a revolutionary technology process that I call vibrational success. And for the last 10 years, I've helped thousands of people around the world restore harmony and align themselves with their personal power, because each and every one of us is extremely powerful. And my intention tonight is to help you to unveil another level of that power that's within you. Why? So that you can create an extraordinary life, so that you can play beautiful music throughout your life experience. Man, so key, so important, and something that's available for each and every one of us. Now, this was 10 years ago. I embarked on this journey, and people always say, hey, did you just like nonchalantly walk into this easily and effortlessly? No, it was a journey. And for a good amount of years, I didn't know what the heck I was doing with this energy that these scientists discovered in my music. I knew that it had tremendous benefits on people, which we'll elaborate on here in a second, but I didn't really know how to bring it forward. I didn't really know what it was for. I didn't know how it fit into the world today. And so one day a friend of mine sent me, interestingly enough, a conspiracy theorist video. And, we love to banter back and forth about things. So he sent me this video, and I'm watching this video. And, have you ever heard something that just when you hear it, you just go, bam, it just hits you as truth. And, you get the shivers and the bumps and all that stuff. Well, I heard this quote, and it changed my life forever. And I want to share it with you. It says that people think we need to seek enlightenment. No, we are enlightened. That is our natural state. The unnatural state is what we have been put into. We don't have to seek enlightenment. We have to remove the vibrational barriers and limiting belief systems that have held us in a state of unenlightenment. Notice how those are underlined. The vibrational barriers and limiting belief systems that have held us in a state of unenlightenment. It is not about seeking it, it's about removing what is stopping us from being what we already are. Now, there's a reason why I put the statue of David in the picture next to that. And if you haven't seen it in real life, obviously you probably have seen a picture, and now you definitely have, but it is one of the most masterful pieces of artwork in the world. And the thing that I love about the statue of David is that it really is fantastic for why we've come here to play the game of life and why we go through some of the crazy things we go through in our life experience. So I was reading one day and I caught this expose. It was kind of like an interview with Michelangelo to find out how he carved this magnificent statue. And his response was really quite intriguing because he said, you know what? I didn't carve the statue. I just removed the pieces that were hiding the statue within the block of marble. And that is what we are all up to here in our human experience. So it's not about seeking it. You already have everything within you. You already are the masterpiece. You already are magnificence. Our job is to remove what is stopping us from being what we already are, which is a masterpiece, which is pure magnificence. So I want you to imagine for a sec, just take a deep breath right now and imagine yourself opening up to a more abundant and prosperous life. How does that look for you? Just take a couple deep breaths around that. Because I know this is an area that everybody wants to experience more of, more abundance, more prosperity in their lives. Just take a deep breath around that and just imagine what that would look like for you. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to imagine also just increasing your level of joy and fulfillment in life. That sense of purpose, that sense of satisfaction, that sense of, yeah, I'm living life. Imagine yourself revitalizing your health, your energy levels, and your vitality. Imagine that. And imagine enhancing your awareness of your power. That should be capitalized, by the way, to create an extraordinary life. Just what does that look like for you in your life experience? So what I'd like you to do is I want you to just kind of relax and just breathe and play in that domain of your imagination of what it would look like to have a more prosperous and abundant life for you. What would it feel like? What would it look like to have more fulfillment, joy, and passion in your life? What would it look like and feel like to have vibrant health and energy? What would it be like to expand and know the beauty of who and what you are? Just take a couple deep breaths around that. And just play with that within your imagination. Take another deep breath. So just take some nice deep breaths. The reason why I bring this up is that we truly are magnificent, and I want to use the guitar as a great metaphor for this. Okay, it's a great, I call it my guitar analogy. In essence, we're kind of like guitars, okay? We have facets of our lives. Those are the strings. And then, of course, we take action through those facets. That's the strumming and the plucking that we take through life. You know, we go to work, we do the different things, we go exercise, we engage in our relationships, we play the strings, and then, of course, we produce results. That's the music that we express through our lives. And we all have one desire, and that is to play beautiful music throughout our life experience. But in our modern day world, we spend so much time learning how to play, taking action steps, and doing. But we never take time to actually tune the strings. And we wonder why life can be a challenge. We wonder why we experience breakdowns in different facets of our lives. While we deal with depression and sadness and frustration and anger and have challenges opening up to prosperity and lack joy and fulfillment, and health challenges and physical disharmony show up in our lives. Those are all out pictures of being out of tune. Well, tonight what I want to do is I want to begin this journey of helping you tune your strings and restoring harmony in your life so that you can play your music, your song, your passion, your purpose, and bring that out into the world in a very powerful and transformational way. Now, I had the experience, as I mentioned earlier, a former top consultant to NASA who happened to be a quantum physicist discovered energy in my music that actually refined and tuned listeners' energy fields. Well, as a result of having an opportunity to really engage with them, is I got to learn about quantum physics. 10 years ago, I got my Introduction to Energy 101 and learned about quantum physics and energy. And it was the most amazing experience in my life because we are expressions of a magnificent field of energy that is unlimited in its potential. That is the truth of who and what we are. Top-ranking scientists are acknowledging this now. This guy, Dr. Ronald Jones, who was a gentleman that discovered the energy in my music, he had more letters after his last name than his last name itself. And what he was into was looking at how we are energy and how we are expressions of a field of energy that is unlimited in its potential. You see, everything, my friends, is made of energy. Who you see in the mirror is the tip of the iceberg of who and what you are. I really want you to get that. Who you see in the mirror, what you experience through your senses, is just a minute aspect of who and what we are. We are expressions of this field of pure consciousness. Some people call it the mind of God. Some people call it source energy. Some people call it God itself. Please insert there what you're most comfortable with. But regardless of what you call it, we are an expression of that. I love in Vedic philosophy how it says this field is like the ocean and how we are like waves within the ocean. We're not separate from the ocean, we are the ocean. But yet we have an experience through our senses that holds us as being separate. Really cool stuff. And I don't want to get too deep here, because quantum physics can throw you off the deep end real quick. But bottom line, everything is made of energy, and who you see in the mirror is the tip of the iceberg of who and what you are. There is so much more to you than that. And we're plugged into this field of energy. You have access to all the information that you need to transform your life. The same energy that set the planets in motion, the same energy that put the stars up in the sky, the same energy that does everything in your body, all the miracle of who and what you are without you even having to consciously think about it. That is miraculous. And you have access to that information to open to more prosperity, to energize your life, to revitalize your health, to create whatever it is that you want to create in your life experience. You have access to everything you need. It's all within you. So that being said, why do we suffer? Why do we experience breakdowns? Why do we have challenges? Why do some of us have challenges in a particular aspect of your life that no matter what we do, we just can't seem to work beyond it? Why do we suffer if we truly are expressions of this? Why is it that we suffer? Why do we have challenges and breakdowns? Once again, I come back to these two things: the vibrational barriers and the limiting belief systems that we have surrounded ourselves in our lives, that we have implemented into the operating system software of our minds. These two things right here, these are the blocks of marble around the masterpiece that we talked about earlier. We suffer because of vibrational barriers and limiting belief systems. Well, tonight, we're going to talk about step one, which is really about rising above the vibrational barriers in our lives so that we can enhance our connection to that field of energy. And when you enhance that connection, oh my gosh, all kinds of things open up. And I'll elaborate here in a second as to what opens up and what happens when we don't have an enhanced connection. But bottom line, first things first, tonight we're going to be talking about rising above the vibrational barriers. A whole nother webinar is for the limiting belief systems, which I know mostly everybody here is probably familiar with on one level or another. But what we don't really think about too much is really the impacts of the vibrational barriers in our lives, the things that are in our environment. So the question always arises, what the heck are vibrational barriers, right? Probably most of us don't know or have very limited awareness. Well, we know, but we don't maybe necessarily equate them to being vibrational barriers. But do you realize that we live in a world where we are potentially exposed at any moment up to over 80,000 man-made chemicals in our air, food, and water? Look in that picture in the image. We have cell phones, we have Wi-Fi, we have smart meters, we have computers, we have cell phone devices, we have towers, we have things that have literally just permeated every aspect of our lives. We don't think about it because a lot of times when we use a cell phone, unless you're really sensitive or you're exposed to different things, you really don't feel on a physical level what these things are doing to you. But let me tell you something, they are doing something. They are impacting your energetic field. So vibrational barriers are the 80,000 man-made chemicals in our air, food, and water, and all the electronic disturbances being produced by anything that you have near you that produces electricity, your little cell phone, your laptop computer, the Wi-Fi that I would venture to say that just about everybody has in their home right now. And if you don't have it, your neighbor does, and their neighbor does, and their neighbor does. And so many of us now here, like in Southern California and the United States, we're all getting smart grid. Now we have smart meters on the side of our house that monitor our electrical consumption. And guess what? Those are wireless devices. They produce electromagnetic radiation. And there's a tremendous amount of scientific research coming out on the detrimental effects of these things that we're being exposed to in our lives. The scientists that I met were looking for ways that we could lift people above the vibrational barriers so that we could enhance their connection to that field of energy. So what they were able to identify and prove is that these things that we're using every day are interrupting that connection and causing all kinds of issues in our lives. So I want to once again bring this down to earth and really bring it in a way that we can all get. And since everybody's here watching on computer or listening through device, I think technology is a great metaphor to really use for this. We are in essence like super biological wireless computers. There's no mistake as to why we have tried to create technology to be like us. Okay, we're plugged into the ultimate super internet, that field of pure consciousness, the quantum field. We have a wireless connection to the ultimate super internet. We are transmitting information all the time. We are receiving information all the time, back and forth between us, between the field. So let me ask you a question. What happens to your technology when you're unable to get a good connection to the internet? What happens when your cell phone can't connect into a tower or when you lose a call? What happens when you get too far away from your Wi-Fi at home? Your technology ceases to operate at the way that it was designed. And this is why we are experiencing what we experience in the world today. Why there are so much chronic illness and disease and people being low on energy and wondering why, what's going on? Now, Dr. Jones, the top-ranking scientist that I got a chance to actually hang out with and connect with and really sit down and learn from about consciousness, about energy, about our connection to the field, about what these energy disruptors were causing and what they were doing, he felt absolutely sure that the dramatic rise in autism, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and different neurological disorders were because of disconnection from the field, because of all the stuff in our environment. Look at those chemicals are pretty much in every aspect of our lives, in our air, food, and water. We can't get away from it. So ultimately then, how do we do that? How do we change that? How do we move beyond that? And when we're disconnected, we suffer from stress. We suffer from fatigue. We have health challenges. And because our minds are so scrambled with stressful activity, we have lower levels of awareness. They were actually doing brain mapping on what the brain looks like when people are on cell phones, on technology, and how it actually causes erratic brainwave activity. And we wonder why we can't quiet our minds and connect in to that still, soft voice that's within each and every one of us, that inner genius that's within each and every one of us. More and more people are stressed out in the world today and dealing with the negative implications in their health because of it. More people are dealing with chronic fatigue and lack of energy to be able to go through life. all of us on one level or another are experiencing physical disharmony in our bodies. That's showing up. And I love that guy there with the work and all the thoughts and everything and, health and stress management and all that stuff. Our levels of awareness are being compromised. Because once again, when we're disconnected from that field, when our energy gets disrupted, we cease to operate at the level of which we were designed, just like your technology doesn't operate as well as it can when it is connected. We have to enhance that connection. And as a result of the connection, here are some of the things that we are experiencing in our lives on one level or another that are impacting us, that are negatively impacting us, and really preventing us from being able to play that beautiful music, to express ourselves at the highest level, to accomplish what it is that we want to accomplish and what it is that we wish to create in our lives. We've all come here to play the game of life, to learn how to create, to have the experience of bringing our dreams to reality. Being successful in our business, being successful parents, being successful in relationships, whatever that is for you. But how successful can we really be when we're constantly stressed out, in fatigue, having health challenges, and not having we're having lower levels of awareness? How can we really achieve the level of success of which we were really designed to operate at and to experience in our lives? So I want to show you a little movie here, because there really is one thing to talk about it, but I want to show you a little demonstration. So as I mentioned earlier, these scientists discovered frequencies in my music that actually eliminate the negative effects of these energy disruptors in the environment. Okay, they actually found frequencies in the music that actually restore harmony to your energetic field in the face of everything that we're exposed to, that'll give you the ability to operate in the world without being negatively impacted about it. So I want to show you this little video. This is actually a demonstration of what happens when you tune your energy, how it impacts the physical body. So I'm going to show it to you real quick here. See, I don't know if you can hear that. So what I'm doing is a balance test here. And I'm going to apply downward pressure in her hand. And I'm asking her to stay stiff and don't let me bend or tip her. So as you can see, Candace is kind of little. It was real easy to tip her over. So now I'm doing the demo again with music playing. So what you actually saw there was what happens. Balance is important, right, in our lives. Balance is so essential. We don't think about balance until we don't have it. So in that demonstration, I actually did a balance test and tipped her over very easily. Then I played the music, which refined and tuned her energetic field. And when your energy is in tune, you're going to have an instant increase in strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance. Instantaneous. So way back when I got introduced to these scientists, they invited me to this lecture, and they're doing these demonstrations, this and many other demonstrations, showing how things we use every day are compromising our energy. And when I started playing music, I see people's physical energy shift instantly in front of my eyes. I initially got kind of freaked out about it because I didn't know anything about energy. I didn't know anything about quantum physics back then. That was 10 years ago. And so a few weeks after that lecture, I get a call from Dr. Jones. He says, hey, we're really excited about your music. Your music actually eliminates the negative effects of energy disruptors in the environment and gives people the ability to energize their lives in a world that is becoming more and more difficult to do that every day. And I said, well, Doc, what does that mean? He said, well, what it means is that we want to buy 1,000 CDs from you and start selling them. I said, well, that I can relate to. I'm not so sure about the whole, energy stuff, but this was when I began to learn. Your energy, you're an expression of a field of energy. If you don't feel like you're running at an optimal level, well, guess what? Chances are none of us truly are when we're being exposed to these different things in our environment. So when you enhance your energy and your connection, you're going to dramatically reduce your stress and anxiety. You're going to have an instant increase in strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance. 5 physical factors. Doc always told me when the body is in tune, you have strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance will instantly be increased. Once again, what do we want to be in tune, right? If we go back to that analogy of the guitar, we're all going through life like this, with our strings out of tune. To truly create what we want to create, we have to be in harmony. So much can open up for us. So once again, when your energy is in tune, you're going to improve your mental functions. You're going to enhance your body's ability to heal itself. Doc always used to tell me, and as I've continued, we have access to everything that we need to revitalize our health and our vitality. We have access to the next great idea that's going to take our business to another level. We have access to all the information that's going to give us everything that we need to create an extraordinary life. When you enhance your energy, you're going to open up to higher levels of awareness and begin to remember the statue of David that's within each and every one of us. We are all masterpieces. We are all extremely powerful. Yes, thoughts and beliefs and perceptions that I mentioned earlier are extremely important. But before we even get to that part, we have to enhance our connection to this field of energy. And when we do, oh my gosh. So let me ask you a question. How would your life look? How would your life be if you were able to dramatically reduce your stress and anxiety? Just take a deep breath around that alone. I teach a lot of meditation classes, and inevitably everybody that comes, what do they want? Less stress, less anxiety, having a hard time dealing with life. Imagine dramatically reducing the stress and anxiety in your life. Imagine increasing your physical energy, your strength, your flexibility, your endurance, your coordination, your balance. I got a ton of yoga teachers who love to play the music in their classes. Why? Because they see the difference in people actually taking the classes. Imagine improving your mental functions. What I mean is your memory, your focus are enhanced. Your creativity, your intuition, the right brain functions are also enhanced. One of the things that the scientists discovered through brain mapping, when you're listening to the music, your brain actually goes into a harmonized state, a state they had identified with the athletes in the peak performance zone. Who wants to go through life in a peak performance state? How would you be able to deal with the twists and turns and the ups and downs that life is always most assured will throw our way at one time or another? How could that dramatically enhance your ability to be able to take those twists and turns and the shifts in the seasons of life? What would open up for you if you were to enhance your body's ability to heal itself, to revitalize itself? Do you realize at night, every night when you go to bed, you put the super biological computer into sleep mode, and your pineal gland sends a wonderful message and starts producing melatonin and all these wonderful things to rebuild your physiology at night while you're sleeping, so that you can wake up being revitalized, being energized, being ready to take on the day. But now scientific research is emerging because we've got so many disruptive waves in our environment at night that your pineal gland, your brain, can't tell the difference between daytime and electromagnetic radiation. So if you're sleeping with your cell phone next to your bed, don't. Move the alarm clock away from the side of your bed. Clean up your environment at night as much as possible. Let me tell you, that right there is key if you can do that. Because we do want to wake up being energized. We do want to wake up being revitalized. We do want to wake up ready to take on all that the next day will bring. So once again, an opportunity to just relax and to just take some breaths. How would your life look if you had less stress? How would your life look if you had more energy? How would that impact your relationships, your career, your life? Take another deep breath. And as a result, when we're in tune, we open up to truly creating a more successful, fulfilling, and vibrant life. Take another deep breath. So it took me a lot of years to really figure out when, I got connected to these scientists and they discovered the energy in the music and what got created as a result of that. And really to honor, I remember a friend of mine telling me, he said, "Mark, you're like a harmonizer, man." He said, you harmonize people's lives and you align them with their personal power to create beautiful music, to open up to more possibilities, to be able to just operate at a whole nother level in their life experience. And of course, I think back then, I didn't really have, a way to really kind of grasp that. Remember, I was like the recovered corporate guy, so I wasn't sure how to process that information. But this is what can open up. This is the possibility. We can be in the world, but not of it. And that's what it is that I bring to the table. So I'd love to share with you kind of what I do to help people to enhance their connection and revitalize their energy and energize their lives. Really solutions for refining and optimizing your energy. So my flagship, which is really, this is like the 24-hour musical solution for harmonizing your environment. It's called the Vibrational Success Series. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, it's my 24-hour musical solution for harmonizing the energy in your environment. Because your home, your office, your car, wherever it is that you go in life, you have an opportunity to play music in your environment. You can shift amazing things. So in this series, there's 4 total music CDs or playlists, 2 music CDs or playlists Sueños Infinitos and Beyond the Wall. These are just music that you play in the office. You play when company comes over. I had a guy come up to me and said, dude, he said, you know what, I've been having my in-laws and over for Thanksgiving here in the States, for like 20 years, and every year there's a fight, man. Somebody fights and starts calling each other names. He said, I played your music in the environment. This is the first year ever nobody fought. Everybody got along. It was amazing. So this is music for the environment, that you fill your environment. And because it is important for us to connect, whether you meditate, whether you pray, whether you have quiet time or journal. There's a third playlist or CD that's called Tranquility. That's music for you to enhance your connection. Because when you enhance your connection and you're doing your inner work, all kinds of things can open up. You can deepen your meditation. You can deepen your prayer time. It's almost like an enhanced connection to that field of consciousness. All the busyness, of the mind, how we can get connected to what's behind all that busyness. And then the third or the fourth playlist / CD is sleep, which is music you play at night while you're sleeping because you want to enhance your energy. All this music, once again, it eliminates the negative effects of those disruptive waves in our environment, the disruptive things in our environment, so that you can enhance your energy and your connection. So here's a testimonial from Dr. Ronald Jones, who is the former top consultant to NASA that discovered the frequencies of my music. He said, Mr. Mark Romero's music is indeed a milestone in the overall mission of empowering the lives of people. Because here, these top scientists were convinced that humanity was never going to reach its full potential if we did not find a way to rise above the static and noise being caused by all these energy disruptors in our environment. Because let's face it, the chemicals, the genetically modified foods, the stuff that have penetrated into our environment, they're not going away anytime soon. Yes, we're moving in that direction. People are becoming aware of organic foods and eating raw foods and drinking better quality waters. All those things can enhance your energy. That's why we feel better when we eat better quality food. But until we're able to really clean up our environment, well, fine, let's just eliminate those negative effects upon us so that we can continue to operate at an optimal level, continue to download the expertise and the genius that's going to help us to ultimately change and transform the world that we live in. I want to read a couple quotes here. Mark's music creates an amazing state of harmony for my mind, body, and soul. I wake up to meditate to Mark's music, listen to it while I'm on my computer working, in my car while driving, and on the stereo in my home while relaxing. I'm surrounding myself with this incredible music and Mark's special gift to reduce stress and provide a greater focus in my life. Who would like less stress and greater focus? I do. I mean, let's face it, we're busy. Life is busier than ever. The next quote I think is really powerful. It says, I was a little skeptical about Mark's claim that his music actually made changes in brainwave patterns and strengthened people, until I experienced on my nephew, who is autistic. I played the music for him during a 45-minute drive and received amazing results. This child spends much of his time distracted and talking to himself, but while listening to Mark's music, he was able to concentrate on our conversation and give me feedback to every question I asked him. He's never done this before with me. Needless to say, I highly recommend the music and the work Mark is doing. And finally, I want to just open this up. This was a testimony I received from a young lady whose mother had advanced Alzheimer's. And what actually opened up for her, she had very poor short-term memory. But by playing the music in the environment, she actually came to a concert and saw me perform live. And then a few days later, they were playing the CD in the house, and she goes, isn't that this young man that we saw playing the other night? And they're like going, what? Mom, short-term memory? So they noticed tremendous difference on many things by playing the music in the environment, by harmonizing the environment. What showed up? She told her dad, don't ever turn this music off. Keep it playing all the time, even while watching TV, even while doing all the things. You just play it in the environment. Very important. And then, of course, the main question I get asked, and it's a good question, is what happens if I can't play the music? Because let's face it, we can't play music all the time. And that's where I came out with a solution. It's the Harmonized Life Solutions Energize pendant. And it's a pendant that's actually been infused with the frequencies of the music. So in essence, you can put it on and go out into the world that's filled with static and noise. Heck, you go out in all these businesses, all these different public places, you're being bombarded by Wi-Fi, by chemicals in the environment. Now you have a way to keep your energy in tune, whether you're able to play the music or not. And this is the Harmonized Life Solutions pendant. And once again, a well-tuned biofield, which is the field of energy that surrounds you, that conducts your physiology, is the key to energy, wellness, and balance. Like that video demonstrated what happened as soon as you tune your biofield, your energy field, bam, instant increase in strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance. The vibrational quality of this pendant resonates with your entire biofield to maintain optimal strength, vitality, and resilience in the presence of stress that threatens to damage and corrupt it. In other words, you can be around energy disruptors, cell phones, laptop computers, chemicals in your environment, and still keep yourself strong and resonant, in tune. It quickly resets your overall balance. If your biofield is disturbed, resetting imbalances and restoring harmony. It enhances your body's innate intelligence. Let me tell you something. Your body, I always say this, man, our body's smarter than we are. It knows so much. And it's amazing what can open up for it when it is in tune and in harmony. It strengthens and supports your body's ability to self-heal and allows the whole system to reorganize at a higher level of performance, one that is robust and creatively adapting to stress. Let's face it, we live in a stress-filled world. This gives you a better tool, a better ability to be able to manage the different stresses in our environment that are being caused not only by the busyness of our lives, but by the things in our environment, the cell phones, the Wi-Fi, the smart meters, the tons of issues showing up with kids, the chemicals in our environment, all these different things that science is very aware of now, how they're negatively impacting it, but yet now ultimately how we can rise above their negative effects. So the benefits of the music and the pendant are dramatically reduce your stress and anxiety, increase your strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance, improve your mental focus, enhance your body's ability to heal itself, and open to a higher level of awareness. It amazes me all the time when people play this music and engage in this work, what opens up for them from a consciousness standpoint. They have new levels of awareness. They have new breakthroughs, new ahas, because we've enhanced that connection to that ultimate super internet and are able to access the genius that's within us at such a higher level. This is what opens up for us when we raise our vibration, when we raise our energy and operate at a higher level. So obviously my idea is I want to help energize the world. And I put together some special prices today on this webinar just for being part of it, for taking the time out of your day. And let me just see here. I'm going to put this up on the side. So you're gonna see a little let's see. There you go. You should see a little button there on the right side of your screen that should pop up. And basically, I discounted all of these things. Normally, the Vibrational Success Series is $100, $97. It's discounted to $80 if you want to get just the music. The best deal, though, is the double package, which includes the music series, which you can get in MP3 or CD format, and the pendant for $150, and then the Harmonized Life Solutions pendant. If you want to get just that, you can get that also at a discounted price from $150 down to $120. But by far the best offer is the $250 down to $150. It's a $100 price reduction. Let me just go back over here. Got to get my little screen a little bit better. So to get started energizing your life today, you can go to markromeromusic.com/special, or you can click on that link on the right side of your page there. Once again, markromeromusic.com/special, and you can start experiencing the benefits of what's going to open up for you when you enhance your connection and your energy and start opening up to a whole new level of possibility. So I want to conclude with this concept, and then I'm going to take a look at questions, and I'll open up to questions also. Within each and every one of us is a song. This is your purpose. This is why you came here to play the game of life. And you know what? To play beautiful music, we have to be in tune. We have to be in harmony. There's a song that's within you. And it is the expression of that song that'll transform your life and ultimately the world that we live in. Each of us play an important part of this thing called global transformation. See, my goal is to help restore harmony in the world. And we live in a time, and lately there's just been a tremendous amount of news showing us the disharmony that's arising. Well, let me tell you something. Restoring harmony in this world starts with the person that we see in the mirror. It starts with you and me. When we restore harmony in our lives, we start powerfully impacting those around us simply through our presence, simply through our state of being. But each and every one of us is a key piece of this whole idea, this whole concept of restoring harmony and transforming this planet that we live in. So commit yourself today to energizing your life and connecting to your unlimited ability to play beautiful music throughout your life. I want to hear your music. Move forward. Share that. You're going to be amazed at what opens up and what transforms when you come in and you express that and you operate at a higher level. Man, we need your music. We all need to contribute what it is that we bring forward. It's that energy that's going to shift this world that we live in. So once again, if this feels something that resonates with you, you'd like to check it out, you could get started energizing your life today. You can pick push on the button to the right side there. And then also you can go to markromeromusic.com/special. It's amazing what happens when you can't talk. So you can click on the button to the right and also go to markromeromusic.com/special. So enough of these slides. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the screen here. All right. And let me see if we got some questions. But I just want to thank you, for being on, for taking the time to show up here. I mean, this is an opportunity for me to reflect. This has been years, for 10 years now, working in the area of energy. And this is just a part of what it is that we're doing here. But I really wanted to focus on this aspect, on what opens up when we enhance our connection. So I just wanted to take a look and see if there was any questions. Doreen asked a question. She says, the pendant is very lightweight and a bit thicker than a quarter. It is. And how thick is the pendant? Yeah, I would say it's a little bit thicker than a quarter, but it is very lightweight. I've been wearing this one for about a year now, so it's definitely durable. It's really transformed my yoga. I love doing yoga and stuff. I mean, I need all the help I can get when it comes to doing one-legged poses and stuff. So it's been fantastic for me. So it's a great tool. Jay says, I get something new out of this webinar every time I listen to it. I have the program Mark is offering, and it does work. I love it. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Let's see. Love your energy and the way you explain things. From Rochester, Michigan. Thank you, Gail. Somebody had some Firefox issues. Technology is wonderful when it works properly. Let's see. I don't see any other questions popping in. So unless I see something in the next second here, I just want to thank you all again for being part of this. If you have any questions whatsoever, please email us at support@markromeromusic.com. Once again, support@markromeromusic.com. We'll make sure that we answer your questions immediately. Other than that, I hope that you'll take advantage of what it is that we're offering here, what it is that we're bringing forward. So once again, markromeromusic.com/special, markromeromusic.com/special. And I don't see any other questions popping in, so I think we are concluded. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a happy and harmonious evening, day, whatever time it might be where you're at, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.